Come and knock on our door.
Choice to win.
Waiting for you.
Suzanne Summers.
The kisses are hers.
John Ritter.
It's Three's Company.
It's Three's Company.
Come and dance on our floor.
Coming to an ABC television affiliate near you. Now, here's Three's Company.
Three's Company too.
Wait, one correction. Thank you, Mr. Drew Brees. Yeah, you right. No Three's Company. Although some of you would like to check out Three's Company. Pretty good show. Even when Don Knotts joined the program. Well, maybe not as good. Wasn't so much Don Knotts. It was Suzanne Summers left and was replaced with the Priscilla Barnes girl. Hey, a wide open Wednesday. Yeah, you right. Too much information in the old brain when you're remembering stuff like that. Jason and I were chatting a few weeks ago. Couldn't remember the Chachi character in Happy Days. But then when we did remember him without looking him up, I remembered his name was Donnie Most, the actor, and that disturbed me for a few days straight. I was trying to figure out a way, how can I erase that out of my brain and put in some physics or foreign language maybe. Potsy was Donnie Most. Chachi was Ralph Macchio. Was it? Chachi was? Wait. No, you mean... Chachi was, let's see. The redhead was Donnie Most, and Chachi was who? Scott Baio, exactly. Scott Baio. Yep. Anyway, Happy Days. Not so happy? Anyway, Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, I'd like Donnie Most removed from my gray matter and 50 Spanish words replacing it or something useful. Boy, if you could trade off, huh? Just a lot of crap like that. Like, okay, Corey, so in the future, if anyone asks you about Happy Days or Chachi, you're not going to know Donnie Most, you're not going to know Scott Baio. I'd be like, hey, get Henry Winkler in there, Ron Howard, the Cunningham family, the whole thing, Jumping the Shark. Here's my list of what I want to replace it with. Physics and Spanish and geesh. Anyway, it is a wide open Wednesday. This is where you can save me from talking about Happy Days. You're the show producer, whatever you'd like to discuss. Checking us out on the radio, maybe? Thanks for finding us. Oh, so fine. 93.9 FM, 93.9. We're also on New Orleans' own 107.9, 107.9 FM. The show can be heard on the AM side of the dial from Baton Rouge all the way to Pensacola, Florida, 600 AM. Maybe you're checking us out on the television set all over Louisiana. If you have Cox Television, you can check out the program, Your View Louisiana. That's Cox Channel 4 every weekday afternoon, 4 to 5:30, 90 minutes of fun. Spectrum Channel 333, you Charter Spectrum television subscribers. Spectrum Channel 333, 33s, 4 to 5:30. Live streaming, CoreyTalks.com, our website, CoreyTalks.com. And the show has been on YouTube the last few months. Check out our YouTube channel. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It doesn't cost a dime. Send the link to a friend or family member. We're on YouTube, Corey Johnson, Neutral Ground. However you're checking us out, Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. You're going to need that number in a few minutes because I'm going to fire out some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate trivia questions. Maybe you'll be fortunate enough to know the answer. No intranet device, no DuckDuckGo, no Bing, no Yahoo, no Google. You either know the answer or you don't. Hey, the 4 o'clock hour on this wide open Wednesday brought to you by Young's Dry Cleaning. You know, they've been at it since 1940. 80 plus years of excellence. It's pretty amazing, actually. Truly a New Orleans institution, the best dry cleaner. Dale, his brother Don, fourth generation, family-run business, New Orleanians that care. Now, if you like your dry cleaner, I guess stick with them. Want to experience the best? youngsdrycleaning.com. youngsdrycleaning.com. Yeah, it is a wide open Wednesday. You're the show producer. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. I forget about when it gets cold, Jason, I put on this vest, then I look up on the TV monitor and it reminds me of Marty McFly from Back to the Future. Why are you wearing a vest, kid? You just got off a boat? Can I get a Pepsi free? Yeah, you got to pay for it. That grumpy old C or D actor pops up every 5 years or so in a movie. What's with the life vest? You with the Coast Guard? No, it's a vest because it's a little nippy out there. What about this cold weather? Little chilly, going to be the same thing tomorrow morning. We'll wake up on the South Shore. Temperatures in the high 40s. North Shore, high 30s. Wow. Gotta like that. Mosquito killing weather. Sunshine, blue skies continues through the weekend. Fifth weekend in a row. Basically 5 weeks straight of blue skies and sunny weather. Pretty amazing. It continues. Get outside and enjoy it. That sun's dropping out the sky pretty quickly nowadays. A little after 6 o'clock, it's GONE. And then what? They're going to drop that daylight savings bomb on us soon? That thing's terrible. 86 that already. Daylight savings time. Awful. That it's almost depressing. It's like 5:20 and it's dark. Come on. And then you're thinking about June when it was 8:20 and the sun was setting 3 hours later. Anyway, yep, get outside, enjoy it because it's really nice outside. And the sun's going to drop out of the sky in about an hour and a half. Hey, tomorrow, another edition of Hillier and Hennigan, and just in time, huh? Putin declaring martial law on those seized parts of Ukraine, drones from Iran, Iranian instructors on the ground in Crimea teaching Russians how to use Iranian drones. Boy, Russia's desperate, huh? I mean, I think next they're going to use the wrist rocket, the old wrist rocket slingshot. It's crazy. Midterms, Scalise. We'll talk about all of that tomorrow. Another edition of Hillier and Hennigan. You can get a little preview. Quinn Hillier, 1N Hillier, Hillyer, QuinnHillier.com, Hennigan.com. Quinn's a conservative-leaning cat. Ellis Hennigan is a liberal, Democrat-leaning cat. Tomorrow, another edition of Hillier and Hennigan. Hey, no Charlie Brown Christmas special this year on TV? No Charlie Brown holiday specials. We should have the Great Pumpkin coming up in a few weeks. Then the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Then the Charlie Brown Christmas special. What's up with that? How is that gone? Why is that gone? Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. 766-9480. Good job on the pressure on the mayor. I mean, that's what it has to be. Why else would the mayor not go down to Argentina when 10 days ago she was in Amsterdam? Why would she not go to Argentina? Had to be announcing it first, the uproar from it, and the cancellation of the trip. There's only 2 trips where the mayor has made the announcement, this and Singapore, and both were canceled. The old Ray Nagin MO, which, by the way, the ex-mayor is in the news again, trying to get his monthly payment to the feds lowered. Go get a job, mayor. You can pay the monthly, you can pay the monthly fee. Fine, I should say. Commit the crime, do the time. The time continues in payment form. You're out of jail. You still should be in jail right now. So be blessed. Feel blessed. Pay the money. I don't know. I guess if I was a criminal and went to jail and you can appeal it and try to get it lowered, I guess I'd try to get it lowered. I'm a criminal. I don't want to pay the fine. I guess that's just natural. An OIG report and audit on the New Orleans Department of Safety and Permits tomorrow. It will be released. That's going to be interesting. Hope to get the IG on the show tomorrow. I mentioned Steve Scalise. Does Scalise's situation honestly change a thing? I know Democrats and liberals pounce on it. What a liar. It's political hype. It's political nonsense. It's BS. And then Republicans are like, what did Scalise do? Corey Johnson with you.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com. Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, now with 4 area locations. Canal at Carrollton, on the North Shore in Slidell, in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana, and now in Metairie, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. The Woodhouse Day Spa.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With high-definition night vision surveillance systems, letting you see what's going on. Home surveillance that's smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, local spots. NoAC.com, local spots.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about fresh local fish like flounder, snapper, and speckled trout, fried, broiled, or grilled. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Yeah, you right. The sounds of New Orleans, Louisiana. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday. Rouse's Markets phone lines 504 766 9480 504 766 9480. Some pretty smart people in New Orleans. They had a something on Twitter from the Times-Picayune. Let me see if I can find it again. They're trying to they need help. What properties do you see regularly that have fallen into blight? We're compiling a list of New Orleans properties most in need of attention. Share your thoughts with us. So I was just checking on the, link. Mercy in Mid-City, Old Mercy Hospital at not Allen Tucson, that's old Robert E. Lee, Jeff Davis. Doc Francis Parkway at, was that Bienville? I think. The black and white high-rise tower with the diaper around its sketchy-ass roof. That would be the Plaza Tower, the 1001 Howard Building, 44 stories with the diaper around its roof. Charity, the Navy base on Poland. The empty weed-choked lot that sits where the Times-Picayune once stood. NOLA Trash Talk replies, everything owned by Joe Yeager, Daryl Berger, Mona Scalise, the Marcellos, and the Catholic Church. Oh, that's pretty funny. And then I think the editor of the Times pick, hey, not to disagree, but can you cite some specifics? Someone says the whole city. Anyway, no, those are pretty good ones. I mean, the black and white high rise, the 1001 Howard Plaza Tower with the diaper on it, that's a Joe Yeager property. The Navy base on Poland is a future Joe Yeager property, but I think that's more the city screwing up than Joe Yeager. Charity, Tulane, and some other private entities, hundreds of millions of dollars going into that. It's a shame. This bums me out. I don't know what's going to become of the old Times-Picayune site. And that's another Joe Yeager property. That was supposed to be a not drive. Drive Shack. I was going to say not the thing in Baton Rouge. What's the driving range in Baton Rouge called? Top Golf. Not a Top Golf, which is the leader. I think, let's say, I'm about 40 or 50 Top Golfs around the country. Drive Shack, I think there's like maybe 3, 4, or 5. They're trying to catch up to Top Golf. I don't think it's going to be either one of those. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's Top Golf or a Drive Shack. I just think that would be great for that area, that neighborhood. Something big and bright right on the interstate right there, just like in Baton Rouge. Exactly like Top Golf on the interstate. The big net, the lights, the triple-decker driving range. Essentially, what's neat about those places, first off, it was going to be open 7 days a week till 2 a.m. And then each floor is a kind of sports bar restaurant. Not different concepts, really, but you could go to, first floor, second floor, third floor, play different games. It's sort of a sports bar restaurant driving range and high-tech driving range. And then wait staff like Hooters, girls running around, helping you, assisting you. I had a meeting one time in Baton Rouge. It ended early. I'm coming back to New Orleans at like 10 a.m. I was kind of bummed because I wanted to go get like a Louis hamburger or fleur-de-lis pizza or something. So I'm driving back. I'm like, I've never been to Top Golf. I pull over, I have my clubs in the trunk, went and hit a bucket of balls. Girl kept asking me if I need anything. I was like, an ice water. I think it charged me for the time I spent hitting balls. It was like $7 or $8. I tipped her like $7 or $8. But no, it was pretty first class and nice. And, I've often talked about this. You don't have to do it or like it. It's not like, I like it because it's golf. There's a bunch of things I want on Canal Street and all over the city that I'm not going to. I want a Buc-ee's, out in New Orleans East. I'm not going to Buc-ee's. My friend lives in Diamond Head. He's so fired up about the Buc-ee's on Menge. I send him texts. Fine dining coming to southern Mississippi. Buc-ee's opening soon, joking with him. he loves Diamond Head. I'm just like, nah, I like Diamond Head too. I like coming to play the golf courses. I'm glad you're happy there. It is a cool community. He's right on the golf course, deer running around. I'm like, okay, let's get some Italian or Chinese, a steak. Hello. I mean, if that Rouse's wasn't there, Diamond Head would lose about half its credibility. I'm not trying to bust on Diamond Head. The point is, I'm not going to Buc-ee's. I don't care about the brisket or the pecans or any of that. The largest beef jerky store in America. I don't care. And I'm glad you like Buc-ee's. I'm glad it's viable. I got nothing against a Buc-ee's. I went to the one on the way to Houston one time. Pulled over. Let's check out this Buc-ee's. But I'd like a Buc-ee's in Louisiana. The first one was supposed to come to Louisiana. Supposedly, Louisiana politics killed the deal. First one outside of Texas was going to Baton Rouge. Google it. Then about 6 months later, they pull the deal. Couldn't get other property in Louisiana, just some Walt Disney type of thing, and they're all over the South now. Now, like it, great. Don't like it, doesn't matter. If it's viable and it's good for the city, I'm for it. So I wouldn't have minded a Buc-ee's. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday edition of the program. A lot going on. The Pels are in Brooklyn tonight. The season gets underway at 6:30. In about 2 hours, the Pels tip off right outside of New York. One of the most highly anticipated NBA seasons in New Orleans basketball, pro basketball history. You can go back late 60s ABA and the Buccaneers. You can go to the mid to late 70s and the Jazz. And the last 20 or so years, 18, 19 seasons of Hornets/Pels in New Orleans. Almost 25 years of, it is 25 years of pro basketball, almost 25 years of NBA basketball in New Orleans. And this is probably the single most highly anticipated season in New Orleans history. No, you've got a legitimate team with legitimate starters, legitimate depth. You got to have a few stars to win in the NBA, like a couple of all-stars. And we know Brandon Ingram is an all-star, and Zion Williamson appears to be an all-star. Those two being all-star type players could propel C.J. McCollum to all-star status. You get something going like that with this bench that goes 4, 5, 6, 7 deep now, maybe 8 deep. The Pels have a chance to make some waves. The Pels are an expected playoff team. This is a playoff team. If the Pels don't make the playoffs, it would be an absurdly disappointing season. How much we love the coach right now, it would be a flip-flop. We'd be questioning the coach if there weren't a slew of injuries and the Pelicans didn't make the playoffs. So playoffs are no doubt. There's no play-in as the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th team. It's an expectation of maybe being around the 4th or 5th seeded team, maybe higher. Anyway, Pels tonight, Brooklyn, 6:30. I guess that's on Bally's television here in New Orleans. I think that's Cox Channel 38 for me. Does that Steve Scalise situation change anyone's thinking? Does the Steve Scalise situation where he's publicly saying Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats didn't do enough to try to secure the National Guard to come in during January 6th. And then video emerges of Scalise standing 4 feet from Pelosi with other congressional leaders, bipartisan, while Pelosi's trying to get the National Guard to come in. So Scalise kind of gets caught in that lie. Democrats are pouncing on it. Republicans are like, can you say something? And you could flip it the other way. If Scalise was a Democrat, Republicans would be pouncing on it, and Democrats would be going, you say something? Does the Scalise situation change anyone's thinking anywhere? Democrats, you already didn't like Scalise. All this does is solidify what you've already thought. The guy's never passed a law. He's got not a single legislation he's authored in D.C., not a single thing. Not one thing. Not a single law is authored a bill, not a single one. I think he's got one co-authored bill where he was a co-author on some legislation that was basically meaningless. So Democrats are already, that's their message all the time. Republicans love Steve Scalise, toes the conservative line. I know without a doubt 90+% of the time how I would vote, how I would want my leader to vote on legislation. Steve Scalise is going to come through with that vote for me. Republicans locally love Steve Scalise. Democrats locally think Steve Scalise is a sellout. So Steve Scalise's situation where, believe it or not, true or not, I mean, I think it's fairly true. I think Steve Scalise I'll never forget Steve Scalise's first kind of maneuver to the spotlight was holding the Obamacare bill, the 1,400 pages. Someone printed it out. Okay, what Republican up-and-comer we're going to get to stand behind our guys speaking, holding the 1,400 pages? And it was Steve Scalise. And that was the beginning of Steve Scalise sort of doing that, I don't know what you want to call it, song and dance routine. But if you're a Republican, it's like the Donald Trump thing. I love when folks are trying to convince a Trump supporter like Trump's an idiot. He's just, sociopath. He's insane. He's narcissistic. He votes every time the way the Republicans want him. They love him.
Kanye West was seen shopping at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google.
Okay, I think Kanye was talking about something else entirely. Super Discount Store on Paris Road in Chalmette.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Tommy's Lock and Alarms is now hiring service and installation technicians. Great benefits, great pay, take-home vehicle. Apply today. Tommy'sLockandAlarms.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Enjoy outdoor dining on the streetcar line, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, the finest in Middle Eastern cuisine, Carrollton at Jeanette, Lebanon's Cafe.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson with you, Wide Open Wednesday, where you're the show producer. 766-9480. 766-9480. I was checking out a list today, where to go, what to do if you go to New Orleans. I thought the list was pretty good. French Quarter, Mardi Gras. Now, it had some redundancy. You could have French Quarter on the list and then have Jackson Square on the list. And then from Jackson Square could go to like Cabildo State Museum or St. Louis Cathedral, where, you know, you're kind of funneling down the same thing. The Cabildo and St. Louis Cathedral are on Jackson Square, which is in the French Quarter. Anyway, French Quarter, Mardi Gras, World War II Museum, Jackson Square, Preservation Hall, St. Louis Cathedral, City Park, Cabildo, Garden District, Audubon Park and Zoo, Steamboat Natchez, Mardi Gras World, New Orleans Museum of Art, Aquarium, Streetcar Ride, Jean Lafitte National Park and Preserve, which is multiple sites, Crescent Park. What's missing? What's just overtly missing off that list? That, I mean, I already gave you a hint where they've broken down these things in other, you know, French Quarter, down to Jackson Square, down to Cabildo, St. Louis Cathedral. Bourbon Street's not on the list. How can world famous Bourbon Street not be on the list? I mean, St. Charles Avenue indirectly is on it, you know. St. Charles Avenue's indirectly on it with the streetcar ride. You could add Garden District. You could add a lot of different things. But Bourbon Street's usually like, oh man, you got to go to Bourbon Street. You got to go to Beale Street if you're in Memphis, 6th Street if you're in Austin, you know, Michigan Avenue if you're in Chicago, Madison Avenue if you're in New York. There are all these, you got to go do it. What's the street, the Whining Street in San Fran, Mulberry, I think. Got to go down that one, you know. Bourbon Street is a toilet. It's sad that, not that I did talk radio and television for 25, 30 years, the fact that I'm the one that brings up so many subjects that no one else brings up, like not only first mover, only mover, like no one else ever talks about it. I've never heard another New Orleanian ever say, let's reimagine Bourbon Street. Let's try to make Bourbon Street something we'd want to go down and use, something we all can be proud of, not this toilet that it is. First off, folks don't recognize that it's a toilet, yet no locals go to Bourbon Street because it's a toilet. We know it. So think about it consciously, not unconsciously. Yeah, I don't go to Bourbon Street. No one ever asked me why. The reason I don't go, it's a toilet. Okay, let's acknowledge it's a toilet and let's redo it and not pull the old New Orleans gimmick. It's always been that way. It can't change. That broken, second-rate, defeatist mentality. Let's change the toilet into something nice. That's all. No, this whole list has a bunch of great stuff, and Bourbon Street's not on the list, and it shouldn't be. I tell folks, yeah, walk down Bourbon Street. Don't spend more than 10 minutes. Walk down maybe like right before it gets dark or something. Check out stuff and never go back because it's worthless. There's nothing New Orleans about Bourbon Street. It doesn't represent our city. The opposite. It's like a fake representation of our city. Big ass beer, t-shirts with just the stupidest stuff, foul language, curse words that no New Orleanian says, doesn't represent us. We don't buy little Mardi Gras masks. with a stick that don't fit your face, you know, those trinket stores and shops and Bourbon Street. I mean, daiquiris, all that, just a nightmare. Nothing good on Bourbon Street. Nothing. Has to be reimagined. Long overdue. Royal Street, you know, they cage up Royal Street at like 6 p.m. Put, you know, like basically fencing over the windows and doors in case some drunk feels he's going to throw his bottle or hand grenade or whatever through the window. They shut it down. Royal Street should be going 10, 11, 12 midnight. The side streets in between Royal and Bourbon for a few blocks should be lit up, linking the two streets. Lots of shops and things open on those streets, inviting the connection between Bourbon and Royal. And Bourbon should be a bunch of jazz clubs, outdoor dining, cafes, restaurants, and still 24/7. But we don't need any daiquiri shops or trinket shops or big ass beer or strip joints. Don't need any of that. I'm not some prude. It's just Bourbon Street's too valuable to make it a toilet. And that's what it is. It's awful. There cannot be any tourist that comes in town. It's like, dude, we're in New Orleans 5 days on Bourbon Street. I don't know. Then you're an idiot. I don't know what to tell you. You wasted your trip. You didn't make it to Katie's in Mid-City, for instance. That's as New Orleans as it gets. There's a good one to put on the list. A true taste of New Orleans, a neighborhood restaurant joint that is authentic. There's nothing make-believe about it. Roll in there right now to Katie's. Go plop down at the bar and don't even say a word. Just kind of eavesdrop on the crew around you. They'll be talking loud. There'll be lots of opinions, lots of New Orleans characters in Katie's in Mid-City. You folks over there in Harahan, River Ridge, Elmwood, Old Jefferson, the Katie's of Harahan, right in the bend on Hickory Avenue, Bienvenue. The Katie's of Harahan, Bienvenue. Yeah, and don't forget Katie's in Mid-City, as New Orleans as it gets. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. 504-766-9480. That's how you dial us up. 766-9480. I don't think the Steve Scalise situation changes anything. I don't think there's a single human being that says, oh my God, he lied. I'm going to go jump on that side, the opposite side. I'm not a Republican anymore. I don't think there's any Democrat or independent that's like, you know what? It's how this guy votes. He's making a point about, you know, the weak Democrats. True or not, I don't care. 90% of the time he's going to vote in a hyper-conservative way that I like. I don't think the Steve Scalise situation or changes anything. If Steve Scalise was a Democrat, it would just be the equal and opposite reaction from Democrats and Republicans. I don't think any of this matters. Let's head to the phone lines. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480 to Metri, a.k.a. New Orleans West, home of traffic. Lots and lots of traffic. What up, Scott?
How are you doing, Corey?
Doing well, man. Yourself?
Oh, pretty good. I don't know if you remember. I had a chance to talk to you last week, and something you said just now popped up, and you were talking about reimagining certain parts of the city, and it reminded me. I saw an interview with Elon Musk, and one of the things he talked about was the challenges of doing SpaceX and some of these things. And they asked him what the greatest challenge was, and they were expecting it to be some engineering feat. And he said, and what you said really triggered this, he said the greatest obstacle was fighting the momentum of the way things always were done. And that sounds a lot like what you were just describing.
Yeah, we've got it worse than, you can amplify human nature here. You can amplify American politics at its worst here. In Louisiana, New Orleans, it's on steroids. We're very emotional down here, which I love, but it's a catch-22. We're so emotional, we ignore logic. We act like children so often, where what we want to believe, what we hope is true, we cling to when the facts tell us, no, this is what is true, obviously true.
There's definitely that. There's no two ways about it. I found it very intriguing that a person as brilliant as Musk would find that the greatest obstacle was overcoming the way things. I think that's very telling. I mean, certainly we have tons of opportunities, but the thing is that when we don't pick them up, it's not like the rest of the country is going to go down that path with us. They're moving on.
Yeah,
they're doing things.
Oh no, that's why we're where we are, and why these other states and cities are where they are. We've been spinning our wheels, and they're doing things. No, Musk is basically yelling, "We don't like change. Human nature is against change." And and Musk is intelligent. He's like, the one constant is change.
Absolutely, and I think you can also say that a guy who wants to put somebody on Mars, you can debate the utility of that. That's certainly something for another time. But those are the people that you want to encourage. That is the mindset you want to encourage. And yet he got run out of California, which is kind of mind-boggling to me.
Well, how do you mean he got run out of California?
Well, he was with his Tesla effort. They didn't really take to some of the business practices that he was undergoing there.
Oh, no, and he's still obviously the main plant still there. But no, you're right. Like other operations now are in other states, batteries in Arizona, stuff like that.
Yeah, Texas, some of them, I believe.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. No, I'd like us to get a piece of that. I always talk to Michael Hecht. I'm like, Alabama didn't have a single automotive job when I was at LSU. And now they've got about 15% or so of all North American automotive jobs, multiple car plants. I think 50,000+ people employed. That I-12 corridor on the North Shore, we need to make that the electric car plant, electric battery corridor of the United States. There'll obviously be other places too. They already are doing it, but we need to make it like ground zero, put an effort forth, lure some people here.
Yeah. Yeah, you do unfortunately need the leaders with that type of vision, which kind of leads us back to where we were before. But just reeling it back locally real quick, it'll be interesting to see what the recall effort with the mayor brings about, because I think Eileen Carter who's spearheading the
yeah, she was with us yesterday.
She's articulating exactly what she wants to do. She's articulating what the problem is, and she's articulating exactly what she's going to do about it. And the thing is, if you had a mayor that
plus Scott, she's ridiculously organized and focused and moving the needle. I don't mean to cut you off. That 48 after breaks right here.
Come on down to New Orleans' own Bourbon Street, the toilet of the Crescent City. Literally. Need to urinate? Pee right on one of the historic buildings. Need to vomit? It's okay. Throw up right in the street. Bourbon Street. Prostitution, drugs, strip joints, daiquiri shops, and trinket stores. The toilet of the Crescent City. Come on down. It's Bourbon Street.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockandalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Have a painting project but can't decide on the perfect color? At Helm Paint and Decorating, we offer half-pint paint samples in any Benjamin Moore color for under $5, so you can test potential paint colors before investing in a full gallon.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Rouse's Markets means convenience. Every one of our 65 locations opens at 7 a.m., some at 6:30, and they're open until 10 p.m., with some staying open till 11 or even midnight. Convenience. Rouse's Markets. Tastes like home.
Recently, Kim Kardashian was seen at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
Let's party.
Can you think of any other celebrities that won't sue us? Super Discount Store in Chalmette. The lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and cold beer. 3235 Paris Road.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
I don't know about you, and I don't even think it's a religious thing, really. But I think just, the peanut stuff, it's kind of part of the fabric of America. You don't have to like it, but I think you have to just admit it's part of the fabric of America. It's the Great Pumpkin, a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, a Charlie Brown Christmas. Those are just fantastic. I don't know, as a child, those put warm feelings in my heart. And now no Charlie Brown Christmas or pumpkin or Thanksgiving, none of that on TV. It's going to be on Apple TV, I think. It was on CBS for decades, then ABC picked it up for a while. I guess it's just not a moneymaker. I don't know. I don't think it's some political correctness thing. And I'm guessing Frosty the Snowman and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, those will be a go. Anyway, wide open Wednesday edition of the program. What do you think? 504-766-9480. 504-766-9480. Hey, I got a few $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. Did you know Louisiana has a state dog? Do you know Louisiana basically has one of just a handful of official dog breeds that were bred in the United States? Like, ironically, my Australian Shepherd. Nothing at all to do with Australia, really. It's a California-bred dog from a few hundred years ago. I think ridiculously similar to a border collie. Even though it's an Australian Shepherd in the Shepherd family and a border collie's in the collie family. I think that's not. Those dogs are practically the same dog. Ridiculously smart, the same kind of build, frame, hair, everything. Anyway, the Louisiana official state dog. What is it? Give me the answer to that. I got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. Yeah, bred in Louisiana, and I think for hunting and farming purposes, assist in farming and hunting, and one of just a handful of United States official dogs, that are bred, that are recognized around the world. Rouse's Markets phone lines 766-9480. 766-9480. GQ in Covington knows the answer. He got that one right. Hey, what's the oldest Catholic school in the United States? Oldest Catholic school in the United States. Give me the answer to that. I got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. Do you know the oldest building in New Orleans? Some say it's the oldest building in the Mississippi River Valley. 3 specific questions. Boy, GQ nailing it over there on the North Shore. He's 2 for 2. Louisiana State dog, oldest Catholic school in the United States, oldest building in New Orleans. Some say oldest building in the entire Mississippi River Valley. How can one answer 2 questions? Hint, hint, who knows? Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday. Oh, a good guess, GQ, but incorrect. Oh boy, you gotta like this one. You know the what's the diner on Causeway and I-10? Jason, that open 24 hours. TikTok Cafe. The TikTok Cafe. The guy's pretty funny with his signage. If you notice, they're pretty creative. They always have a good twist there. You have to think a little bit. You want to hear today's sign at the TikTok Cafe? Mayor Cantrell is going to visit yet another city next week. Then there's a space. New Orleans. Nice. Excellent work, TikTok Cafe. Mayor Cantrell is going to visit yet another city next week. New Orleans. That's great. That's brilliant. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday edition of the program. 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse Day Spa can be yours. Rouse's Markets phone lines 504-766-9480. Louisiana State dog. Yeah, we got one of those. Oldest Catholic school in the United States. Oldest building in New Orleans. GQ throwing out Lafitte's blacksmith shop. That's a hell of a good answer. I wonder if the deviant sheriff, the former sheriff from St. Bernard, Jack Stevens, beloved down there, because, people love Mark Morial and Edwin Edwards too, and Bill Jefferson. People have problems, have low standards. Jack Stevens is a multimillionaire, essentially pilfering money from that Miro estate, has been for decades. If I'm not mistaken, the former St. Bernard Parish Sheriff, Jack Stevens, when he was sheriff, had control through the Miro Foundation of Lafitte's blacksmith shop. I think he controls the lease, subs it out to someone else for about 20, 30 grand a month, and pays the Miro Foundation around $1,500, $2,000, like 5-10 cents on the dollar of what the Miro Foundation should be going, and Jack Stevens keeps the rest. I believe he does the exact same thing with Breton Sound Marina. Leases it from the Miro Foundation for $1,500, $2,000 a month, subleases it for 15, 20 grand to someone else. During the BP disaster, he was getting $1 million a month. No, just raping and pillaging the Miro Foundation funds. No, Joe Miro's spinning in his grave. Anyway, GQ, good try with Lafitte's blacksmith shop. I digress into the Jack Stevens rant. No, Jack Stevens is lucky that the feds didn't come after him. That whole crew around the Miro estate, Gutierrez, all those characters. I remember I went to go visit Joe Miro. There was just this group of vultures surrounding him that kept me away from him. It's unbelievable. I'm like a nobody. Just kept me away. What's that, Blue Boy? 93.9 FM, 107.9 FM, New Orleans. Tell folks to stick around for the 5 o'clock powwow. Blue Boy, you're the best, buddy.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Where can you find shish kebab in New Orleans? Lamb, beef, chicken, shrimp, plus all your other Mediterranean favorites. Lebanon's Cafe on the streetcar line. Lunch, dinner, and shish kebab. Lebanon's Cafe.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarm. With smart home technology, control lights, locks, cameras, thermostat, and your alarm, all from your phone or laptop. Smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
When you think of Fury's Restaurant in Metairie, you think about their daily lunch specials like red beans and rice, black-eyed peas, white butter beans, liver and onions. Daily lunch specials. Fury's Restaurant in Metairie.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us steer you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Once upon a time, there were 3 beautiful girls.
Yep.
2 of them graduated
Farrah Fawcett,
the other graduated from a top school for modeling.
Jacqueline Smith, huh?
And they each reaped the rewards
They were
of
3
their
beautiful
exciting
women.
careers. But I took them away.
Farrah Fawcett was like a
Now they work for
superstar.
me.
That one poster in the one piece, the orange one piece. People love that. Drew Brees, no Charlie's Angels, please. That's right, it is New Orleans, Louisiana. Corey Johnson back at you. A wide open Wednesday edition of the program. You're the show producer. Whatever you'd like to discuss. 504-766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines. 766-9480. Thanks for finding us. We're with you till 6 o'clock on the radio. Oh, so fine. 93.9 FM. 93.9 FM. We're on YouTube till 6 o'clock. Corey Johnson, Neutral Ground. Hey, live streaming on our website, CoreyTalks.com. CoreyTalks.com. Corey spelled Kaare. You can email us, Corey@CoreyTalks.com. Hey, till 5:30, we're on TV, Cox Channel 4, Spectrum Channel 333, all over Louisiana. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. Love to hear from you. Got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates available. Louisiana's state dog. You got the answer? I got 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse for you. Hey, no cheating, no intranet device. No DuckDuckGo or Bing or Yahoo or Google. Louisiana state dog, official state dog of Louisiana. Give me the answer to that. 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse is yours. Oldest Catholic school in the United States. Oldest Catholic school in the United States. Georgetown University is 62 years newer than this school. Oldest Catholic school in the United States. Give me the answer. I got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. 766-9480. Do you know which building in New Orleans is the oldest in the city? Actually, the oldest structure in the Mississippi River Valley. Give me the answer to that. I got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. The building's about 269 years old. Pretty amazing. Hey, the 5 o'clock powwow brought to you by Helm Paint and Decorating. With this weather, you can get a lot done. Like repaint your whole house, paint it once, never, ever paint it again. They'll steer you in the right direction. 7 different locations, West Bank, East Bank, North Shore. Helm's got you covered, plus free 2-hour delivery anywhere in Metro New Orleans. Pick your colors online. Helm Paint, Benjamin Moore colors. They'll deliver it right to your door. Everything you need to get the job done right. It's a no-brainer for over 50 years. When it's time to paint in New Orleans, do it once, do it right. Helm Paint and Decorating. Yeah, I just painted my house. A lifetime paint. I'll never paint again. Thank you, Helm Paint and Decorating. 5 o'clock powwow on this wide open Wednesday, brought to you by Helm Paint and Decorating. No Charlie Brown specials this year on TV. You got to go to Apple TV, which is, the future of TV. But no network television. It was on CBS for years, ABC the last few decades. No Great Pumpkin, no Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, no Charlie Brown Christmas. Come on. That's part of America, man, part of the fabric of this country. Does Scalise's situation change anyone's thinking anywhere. I mean, liberals think how they think, Republicans, conservatives think like they think. I don't think Scalise's situation makes anyone think any differently than how they think. The Pels crank up their NBA season game 1 of 82 in about an hour and 20 minutes from Brooklyn. 6:30 tip-off. Let's hit the phone lines. Rouse's Markets phone lines. 504-766-9480. 766-9480. Jan joins us in Metairie, a.k.a. New Orleans West, home of traffic, lots and lots of traffic. What's happening in Metairie, Jan?
Well, hi, Corey. I think the dog is a Catahoula.
Oh, I think there's a lot of different breeds of dog. What do you mean you think the dog's a Catahoula? What's that got to do with anything? What kind of non sequitur thing is that? Oh, you're answering a trivia question.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, Jan, how you doing? I like spaghetti and meatballs at about 70 degrees, not 55. Oh, yeah. What? So arbitrary. Okay, the trivia question. Louisiana State dog. What do you think it is?
A Catahoula.
Like
we
the
had
parish?
One. Yeah. Yeah, we had one, and they're great dogs, but they smell bad.
They do?
Yeah.
I guess that short hair, they emit oil, I guess, in that.
Good hunting dogs, beautiful eyes. They're really good dogs. They are.
So you think the Louisiana Catahoula leopard dog is the official state dog?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Wow. Jan, you are correct.
Yeah, you
Well,
right.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
What do we have for her, Johnny?
I got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you, Jan.
Oh, that's really great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, depending on where you live in Metairie, you could either hit Mid-City, New Orleans, Canal Street at Carrollton, or the West Esplanade Transcontinental location, whichever you prefer.
Probably a Canal Street one to be closer.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Well,
right,
that's
Jan.
Great. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks for watching and listening. Hang on, all right? That's Jan in Metairie, Louisiana. I think it's pronounced Metairie. Metairie. Anyway, Jan just picked up 50 big bucks. The Louisiana State dog is the Louisiana Catahoula leopard dog. Bred here. One of just a handful of United States bred dogs. Catahoula. Yeah, you right. Hey, still got a couple of $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates available. Oldest Catholic school in the United States. This school is 62 years older than Georgetown University. This school goes back to like 1727. 1727. 295 years old. Hey, speaking of old, this building, this structure is 269 years old. What's the oldest building in New Orleans? Oldest building in the Crescent City. Come on. That should be common knowledge if you're a Yat. Live in the city or not. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Hey, no cheating on those two. No internet device. You either know the oldest Catholic school in the United States is blank or you don't know it. And you either know which building is the oldest in New Orleans. Some say the oldest structure in the entire Mississippi River Valley. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. 504-766-9480. Hey, tomorrow, another edition of Hillier and Hennigan. Right-leaning Quinn Hillier, left-leaning Ellis Hennigan, political pundits nationwide, a couple of New Orleanians. We'll talk a whole lot of stuff like Putin declaring martial law, the drones, Iranians in Crimea training Russians, how to use the drones. Midterms coming up, 2 weeks from Tuesday? 20 days away. Scalise. Does that Scalise situation change anyone's thinking anywhere? Any single person? I don't think it does. Democrats say, told you so. Republicans are like, don't care. And if it was flip-flop, you'd get the same response the opposite way. Partisan politics. Republicans and Democrats are no different, just in ideology. They totally act the same. I mean, I'll give you an example. LaToya Cantrell and Jeff Landry. LaToya Cantrell is a hardcore, woke socialist, hyper liberal inner city mayor. Jeff Landry is a Southern, attorney general who wants to be a Southern state governor desperately. They are ideologically opposed, and they apply the exact same game plan. Just point the finger at the opposite side. I mean, LaToya Cantrell thinks Republicans and conservatives are the devil. And Jeff Landry thinks liberals and Democrats are the devil. And you could even get more specific, probably into the black and white thing if they really could speak their mind. Probably not really meaning it in their heart fully, but saying it because it's politically advantageous to them. Yeah, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I don't think Jeff Landry hates black people, and I don't think LaToya Cantrell hates white people. I think they utilize that sick, idea and utilize it for political gain. That's all. Hey, tonight for dinner, how about outdoor dining in this cool, crisp weather? Right now, Lebanon's Cafe, lamb chops, shish kebab, all your favorite Middle Eastern sides. Outdoor dining right now. Enjoy this weather. Lebanon's Cafe. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all of the time.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com. For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region, with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockandalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris
The
Road.
lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
Pretty funny sign by the TikTok Cafe. That owner comes up with some creative, smart, funny messages. TikTok Cafes in Metri Bra. I think they're open 24/7. Right there by Causeway and West Napoleon. Mayor Cantrell is going to visit yet another city next week. And then there's a space, and below it says, New Orleans. So true. That is fantastic. Excellent work. Mayor Cantrell is going to visit yet another city next week, New Orleans. She'll try to figure out how to fly first class. Hey, y'all, I woke up this morning. I went down to Louis Armstrong International Airport. She moved, she danced, she shake. LaToya, the Destroyer Cantrell. And I got on a plane. I flew first class to O'Hare, got off the plane, went and got a muffin, a little coffee, charged the city. 30 minutes later, back on another flight, first class, back to New Orleans. I was back in the city in time for my high-end lunch, paid for by the city, of course, at one of our high-end restaurants. And I flew first class to Chicago and back because I love those muffins they got at O'Hare. They're special. Wow. LaToya, the Destroyer Cantrell. That guy's right. She danced, she moved, she shake. LaToya, the Destroyer Cantrell. Wow. She did at least cancel the trip. That was obnoxious. Amsterdam, Holland, the Netherlands, whatever, about 10 days ago. And then this week, she was supposed to be heading to Argentina. Crazy. No, I mean, I mention it too much. It just wears you out after a while. Just no pride or integrity or honor. Just petty and pathetic. She knows her 15 minutes are up soon. So she wants to juice that city credit card for every free meal and every first-class junket she can pull off. And then she's got to try to set up a nonprofit. She's already got a few. Pilfering the Wisner Fund and things of that nature. Because when she's done with her job, there is no hire LaToya at our law firm. She doesn't have a law degree. Hire LaToya at her company. She's going to lure in business. She doesn't have a dedicated following or base. She's a fraud. She's a joker, and she knows it too. So when this deal is up, this gig is up, I mean, only in New Orleans could someone like LaToya Cantrell get elected to the council and then mayor. Only New Orleans. You know, New Orleans should have a sign where you enter Orleans Parish. We like to fail. We like to fail. America's filthiest city, comma. We like to fail. No, LaToya Cantrell, hopefully there was some pressure that she had to back down on the trip. All I know is this. The trip she goes on, you get the press release when the plane has already left the building, you know, is already in the air away from Louis Armstrong. The mayor's on the way to South Africa to attend some BS convention or whatever. 2 times the mayor has made the announcement or it got out beforehand, and 2 times the trip was canceled. Singapore and now Argentina. I would guess the mayor's going to go back to the strict C. Ray Nagin rules of don't release that press release about the trip until the planes already left Louis Armstrong. The city council really needs to step up. I've said this before, or they're complicit in this. Just pass an ordinance where all travel needs to be approved by the council. If the mayor has legitimate business, hey, y'all, I'm going to see, Bill Gates up in Seattle about some Microsoft jobs for downtown, and it's legit, you pay for the flight, pay for the hotel room. Glad to see her go. My God, maybe she can pull off a miracle. But if it's just these speaking engagements and other nonsense, I've told you before, all these things the mayor goes to, they're huge screens. A bunch of the speakers are doing it virtually. The mayor could have done any of these things virtually, and she's doing the Argentina one now virtually. No, the Pontalba apartment building, just sinful behavior. No integrity with the mayor or the sheriff. The sheriff wants a big increase in the budget and was touting all her accomplishments to the city council. Friggin' delusional. How about showing up for Judge White subpoenaing you? How about showing up when the other judges want to just have a friendly with you? Hey, I've got with all the other judges. We can all meet at noon tomorrow. Can you come meet with the sheriff? No, I can't. This mayor and this sheriff, New Orleans gets exactly what we deserve. We have free choice. God gives us free will, free choice. We get to go into the voting booth and choose who we want. And we chose Susan Hudson and LaToya Cantrell and expected results from that. Why don't you hire Mike Ditka? Fire Dennis Allen right now and bring in Mike Ditka as head coach. Right now, Mike Ditka. Bring in Mike Ditka's head coach. Why don't you do that? Would there be any expectation of the Saints being a solid football team, an improvement, a chance of victory? Well, then why did you think Susan Hudson or LaToya Cantrell could deliver it to you? No, New Orleans, Louisiana, we're broken for a reason. Bad choices. God must just chuckle and laugh. It must be comic relief. Man, I give these people free will, free choice, and this is what they choose? So be it. Hey, in about an hour, the Pels tip off, about an hour and 5-10 minutes in Brooklyn, game 1 of 82. C.J. McCollum and Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson. That's potential 3 of your 5 starters, all-star types. Brandon Ingram already is an all-star. C.J. McCollum is like pretty much all-star material a lot of the time. And Zion Williamson, the potential is unlimited. And depth and a bench. And Willie Green, a coach the players and fans love, that gets the job done, that's getting it done. No, the single most highly anticipated NBA season in New Orleans history is about to get underway. Almost 25 years of NBA basketball in New Orleans, over 25 in pro hoops. This is the single most highly anticipated season. 6:30 tonight from Brooklyn on, I guess, Bally's TV. 25th ranked Tulane is 6-1. 25th ranked. Yeah, you right, Willie Fritz, roll wave. 2:30 from Yeoman. It's homecoming in uptown New Orleans. Memphis beelining down the I-55. Memphis is 4-3. That means they're dangerous. Hopefully Willie Fritz and 25th ranked Tulane's not letting the ranking go to their head, and they're focused on Memphis. Game at a time, the task at hand. That's 2:30 from Yeoman. That one's going to be on nationwide television, ESPN2, The Deuce. It was on ESPNU. It's another tier on TV, or you've got to check it out via the intranet device. I'm guessing because Tulane slipped into the top 25 in both the AP and the coaches poll, they moved it to ESPN2. So 2:30 on The Deuce, nationwide television audience. I mean, before Willie Fritz, Tulane was never on ESPN or ESPN2, ever. Number 26, LSU, 5-2. Brian Kelly getting the job done. That was a nice win over Florida. The games that Brian Kelly's supposed to win so far, he's winning. You could even argue they could be, maybe 6-1. Probably should have beat Florida State. Extra point missed at the end, cost them an overtime chance. 26th ranked LSU, a 2-point favorite over number 7-0 Ole Miss. Ole Miss in Tiger Stadium. Also, like Tulane, a 2:30 kickoff. This one's on CBS. Tulane, by the way, favored by 7 over Memphis. LSU by 2 over Ole Miss. Arizona's favored by 2 over the Saints. Tomorrow night in the desert, Glendale. Pretty much a must win. I mean, the Saints are 2-4. This is the first pseudo must win of the year. 2-5 is just a vicious hole to dig out of, even though the leading team in the South, I guess it's Atlanta and Tampa at 3-3. But one of them's probably going to get to 4-3. You go to 2-5, you're 2 back. There's only, 10 games left. You start digging that hole. 2-5 is a tough hole to get out of. What was it last week? The Saints were obviously 2-3. 3-3, I think television, they had some graphic up. It's a third of a chance, 35% chance you go to the playoffs if you're 3-3. 2-4 where the Saints are now, it's a 10% chance. So last week, it's like beat Cincinnati, and on average, you got a 1-3 chance of making the playoffs this year. Lose to Cincinnati, on average, your chances of playoffs just went down to 1-10. From 1-3 to 1-10. That's just based off of statistics, what 3-3 and 2-4 after 6 games means in the NFL. And also I guess the statistics slightly skewed because it's based off of 16 games, not 17. So maybe a slightly better chance than 10%. Corey Johnson with you. Hey, does that Steve Scalise situation change anyone, anywhere's thinking? Democrats are like, I told you so. They already don't like Scalise. Republicans like Scalise. They don't care. I don't know how this affects anyone. Tomorrow, another edition of Hillier and Hennigan. Right-leaning Quinn Hillier, left-leaning Ellis Hennigan. We'll talk about the Scalise situation. Midterms coming up, 2 weeks from Tuesday? Putin declaring martial law, drones, Iranians in Crimea training Russians how to use these Iranian-made drones that are pretty shoddy, but getting the job done. The Yugo of drones, getting it done. A lot of them are just kamikaze drones, just flying in and crashing. And most shot down, but it's way too many getting into their targets, knocking out key infrastructure, terrorist stuff, attacking neighborhoods and residential towers, knocking out about a third of the power grid, I believe. So, and you had to go to Iran to get the drones. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Hey, Latrum's with you. Every Friday, Michael Heck joins us from Greater New Orleans Inc. on the program. That segment's always brought to you by Latrum. A culture of innovation. Latrum's hiring. That's all they do is grow, expand worldwide. You folks on the West Bank, East Bank, they're hiring at their Elmwood facility. You folks on the North Shore, they're hiring at their Hammond facility. And not 2 or 3 job openings, dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of job openings. A career for you at Latrum. Go to their website, latrum.com. Latrum spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M, latrum.com. It is a wide open Wednesday. Corey Johnson with you. Why aren't the Charlie Brown specials airing on network television this year? No Great Pumpkin, no Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, no Charlie Brown Christmas. Forget about religion and all that for a second. Yeah, I'm a faith person. I believe in God. That's my faith. But this stuff's like part of Americana. Yeah, I'm 56. I mean, I grew up on this stuff. I thought all kids kind of in America, I don't know, maybe from like, honestly, about 65 on down, started running this stuff in like 65, 66. So any American, I mean, a lot of the population, 65, I don't know, at least like you 30-year-olds. I don't know, maybe the younger generation wasn't into this stuff. But I can get not teary-eyed, but emotional, where I get like that, feeling of being a child again, or missing childhood or holidays, or, as a child, the presents and things like that with the holidays, whatever. Just hearing those songs, those Peanut songs, those theme songs, the music. No, The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, Charlie Brown Christmas. You got to check it out like on Apple TV. It was on CBS for decades, then ABC the last few decades, now no network television. I think that's un-American. I find that un-American. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. I'm looking for the oldest Catholic school in the United States. Georgetown University in D.C. is 62 years newer than this school. Oldest Catholic school in the United States. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. Hey, what's the oldest building in New Orleans? Give me the answer to that. I got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. How can the answer be very similar? Maybe just the letter S separating those two totally different answers. I mean, totally different questions, but a similar answer. Oldest Catholic school in the United States. Oldest building in New Orleans. Some say the oldest structure in the Mississippi River Valley. Give me the answer to either one of those questions. I got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. Good at any of the 4 area Woodhouse locations. Canal Street at Carrollton in Mid-City. They're in Metairie near North Kenner, Transcontinental at West Esplanade. They're on the North Shore in Slidell, I-10 at Gauze. Coming soon, a 5th Woodhouse location in the area. Another North Shore location, this one in Mandeville, Trey Yen Country. And they're in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana. So 4 area locations. New Orleans, Metairie near North Kenner, Slidell on the North Shore, Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana, and a 5th coming online soon, Mandeville. You can go online, take a virtual tour, check out how plush and nice these Woodhouse Day Spa locations really are. Like a private club. Luxurious and nice, but open to the public. Everyone's welcome at the Woodhouse. 4 area locations, a 5th coming online soon. It truly is the premier day spa experience. NOLA.woodhousespas.com. Take a virtual tour or print your own gift certificate. NOLA.woodhousespas.com. Oldest Catholic school in New Orleans. Oldest building in New Orleans. Oldest Catholic school in the United States, excuse me. Oldest Catholic school in the United States. Oldest building in New Orleans. Similar answers. You got an answer? No cheating, no internet device. 504-766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines. 504-766-9480. It was an outdoor website, or an outside the city, outside the state website. What to do in New Orleans. And I was checking it out, and I thought the list was pretty good. French Quarter, Mardi Gras, World War II Museum, Jackson Square, Preservation Hall, St. Louis Cathedral, City Park, Cabildo, the State Museum, Garden District, Audubon Park, Mardi Gras World, Steamboat Natchez, the New Orleans Museum of Art, the Aquarium, take a streetcar ride, Jean Lafitte National Park, Crescent Park. I thought that's a pretty good list. Now, some of the lists would, they say French Quarter, But then they still list Jackson Square. So it's sort of a subcategory under the French Quarter. And then they list Cabildo and St. Louis Cathedral, which are sort of subcategories under Jackson Square. So I guess French Quarter could have made it all encompassing, but they wanted to get specific, which I like. But because they did that, one thing is glaring off that list, and it's correct that it's off the list, and it's Bourbon Street. Because I don't know any New Orleanian that's proud of Bourbon Street. I don't know any New Orleanian that tells a tourist, oh, you got to go to Bourbon Street, spend some time on Bourbon Street. I tell tourists and friends or people inquiring about it, I go, you may go walk down it for 10 minutes, maybe even during the day. But don't go spend any time down there because it's worthless. Absolutely worthless. No, it's way overdue. And it's amazing that I'm the only person that ever brings it up or talks about it. How is that possible? How is there just such a malaise or just, hey, that's just how it is? How do we accept Bourbon Street? How does no one look at it and go, boy, it is a toilet. It is worthless. There's a reason I never go down there. No locals go to Bourbon Street. Big-ass beer, daiquiri shops, trinket stores, strip joints, drugs and prostitution, stinkiness, crap in the gutter. Why would you want to go to Bourbon Street? People urinating on historic buildings, throwing up in the street. Seriously, Bourbon Street is a disgrace. It's a nightmare. It's awful. There's nothing beneficial by it. The city doesn't benefit by it. Most of the business is cash business. I would say the majority of it is not taxed. Bourbon Street's terrible. Time to reimagine Bourbon Street. No, this great list of all the things I mentioned, Bourbon Street shouldn't be on that list. No, we locals don't go down there for a reason. It's awful. And I mean, the people that do go, I'm not knocking these individual people, but what are you getting? You know, the boyfriend, girlfriend walking with the daiquiri, like, hey, $18 a head, $11 a head, $15 a head. It's not worth it. You make it nice. You make it work with Royal Street, restaurants and jazz clubs, music clubs, you know, outdoor cafes, lit up. Police presence, open all night. Royal Street wouldn't shut down. You could combine the two. Your per head, you know, $18 a head would go to $180 a head. Bring in some affluent people that have a little wherewithal, not just folks from the city, from the region that drive in for a few hours and walk up and down Bourbon Street with the daiquiri and get in their vehicle and leave. No, Bourbon Street is a toilet, and it's time for it to be flushed. It didn't deserve to be on that list. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday. Rouse's Market, best quality, best price, best selection. All of that's true. Tastes like home. That's true too. Have you checked out the chef case? Chef driven, great prepared food at Rouse's. Some of these recipes going back 60 years. New Orleans, South Louisiana, Cajun Creole recipes. Yeah, the chef's case. Great prepared foods at all your Rouse's location. Over 60 of them. Over 20 in Metro New Orleans. Tastes like home. Rouse's Markets.
You're talking about France, from which we've come.
I mean, listen, we're talking about practice.
You're talking about France that has an ambassador living in the city of New Orleans.
We're talking about practice.
You're talking about France.
We're talking about practice.
You're talking about France.
But we're talking about practice, man.
You're talking about France.
And we're talking about practice. What are we talking about?
Talking about France.
Practice?
France.
Well, we're talking about practice right now.
You're talking about France that has residents and artists in residence right here in the city of New Orleans, over 4 of them.
We're talking about practice.
You're talking about France.
We're talking about practice.
You're talking about France, from which we've come.
But we're talking about
France.
It's funny to me too. I mean, it's strange to me too.
At Home Paint and Decorating, our paints are in it for the long haul. In fact, our top Benchmore exterior paints come with a lifetime warranty. Not 25 years, not 50 years. We mean forever. You heard right. At Helm Paint, our top exterior paints have a lifetime warranty against chipping, peeling, and flaking. They also are mildew resistant. Imagine painting your home one time and being done with it. Visit any one of our locations today and make that once-in-a-lifetime purchase. Paint that has a lifetime warranty. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With high-definition night vision surveillance systems, letting you see what's going on. Home surveillance that's smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about the freshest local seafood anywhere. Shrimp, oysters, speckled trout, flounder, snapper, soft shells, crawfish. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
What's up, New Orleans, Crescent City, Gulf Coast? Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson with you, Wide Open Wednesday. Still a few minutes to pick up a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. Just got to answer a little trivia. Oldest Catholic school in the U.S. Georgetown University in D.C., 62 years newer than this school. Oldest building in New Orleans. Answer either one of those questions. I got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. I think the answer, the only thing separating the answer to those questions is the letter S, I believe. The letter S, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, every day, this program on radio, television, intranet device, YouTube, brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex. In Kennebra, I-10 at Williams Boulevard, the car corner. Right on the corner, right on the price, the big store, Lamarck Ford, for nearly 50 years. Right across the parish by the river, Ronnie scooped up Lamarck Crescent City Ford, or I should say scooped up Crescent City Ford, and now it's Lamarck Crescent City Ford on Jefferson Highway in Elmwood and Harahan. So he truly is bridging the gap. You got the big store, Lamarck Ford, for nearly 50 years by the lake, and for over 50 years, it's now Lamarck Crescent City Ford by the river. Every day, this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex. And now Lamarck Crescent City Ford on Jefferson Highway. Wow. Ronnie Lamarck from Araby Park, 70-something years old, not slowing down one bit. Oldest Catholic school in New Orleans. You got the answer? I got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. Oldest building in New Orleans. Some say the oldest building, oldest structure in the Mississippi River Valley. Give me the answer to that. I got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. Rouse's Markets phone lines 504-766-9480. 504-766-9480. In about 45 minutes, the Pelicans tipping off in Brooklyn. One of 82 regular season games for the Pels. Arguably the most highly anticipated NBA season in New Orleans history. Almost 25 years of NBA basketball here. 5 with the Jazz. What is this? 18th, 19th season of Pels? Throw in a little ABA Buccaneers, you got over 25 years. Over 50 years of NFL in New Orleans. Pels in Brooklyn tonight. The Nets are favored by 3. 6:30 tip-off, Bally's TV, or check it out on the radio with DeGraff. Number 25, Tulane at Yeoman, 2:30 Saturday. It's homecoming, Memphis. 6-1 Tulane. Come on, New Orleans, show up. With this weather, it's going to be a great day, sunny and nice. You're not going to be sweating. It's going to be a good crowd. Memphis is 4-3. They're a legitimate team that usually takes care of Tulane. Tulane 6-1. They're 25th ranked. First time in the top 25 in 25 years since the late 90s. 99% of undergrads at Tulane weren't alive the last time they were in the top 25. The game is nationally televised on ESPN2. That's huge. Willie Fritz getting it done in Uptown. Tough task, and he's getting it done. They've got a really good defense. They've got an NFL running back. They've got a better-than-average college QB. 25th ranked Tulane at Yeoman, 2:30 Saturday afternoon. Be there, New Orleans. 2:30 Saturday afternoon. What a great afternoon you'd have over there. The game will be on ESPN2. Also at 2:30 in the afternoon, 80 miles upriver at Tiger Stadium. This one's on CBS. 26th ranked LSU, one back from Tulane. That's right. Tulane football is ranked ahead of LSU football. And Brian Kelly's getting it done. Bringing LSU football back from almost death, at least by LSU standards. Tigers are 5-2, just beat Florida, but they've got a big one. This would be a great win for Brian Kelly. Ole Miss, 7th in the country and 7-0. They'll be in Tiger Stadium, 2:30 in the afternoon on Saturday. That one's on CBS. The Saints play tomorrow night. That's why the Pelicans are playing Sunday at the Smoothie King Center, Sunday night. Home opener against the Jazz. They'll do that Sunday night. It's sold out, by the way. Saints play tomorrow night, Thursday night football in the desert against Arizona. Both teams are 2-4. I told you that stat last week. It was on the television set during the Saints-Bengals game. Both teams at that point were 2-3. The team that gets to 3-3, the team that wins the Saints-Bengals game on average, a 1-3 chance, 35% chance you make the playoffs. The team that loses and doesn't go 3-3 falls to 2-4, the Saints, a 10% chance you make the playoffs. Now, a lot of that's based off of a 16-game regular season. We now have 17 games in the NFL. So up that percentage a little, maybe 12, 13% chance of the Saints making the playoffs based off of the stats. There are exceptions. There are 13% of the teams that make it. Saints really need a win. It's sort of a must win. And I don't care, like, Saints are one back from 3-3 Tampa and Atlanta. Those are your leaders in the NFC South. 3-3 Tampa and Atlanta. Saints are 2-4, one game back. Tampa or Atlanta, one of them's going to probably win this week. So they'll go from 3-3 to 4-3. Saints lose and go to 2-5. You're two back, 10 games back. It's just 10 games left. It just makes it a hard hole to dig out of. Pels tonight in Brooklyn. Yeah, you right. What a good weekend of sports. Pels tonight, Saints tomorrow night, Tulane and LSU. You're going to get a little carpal tunnel if you're at home watching. Flip-flopping from the Deuce with Tulane and CBS with LSU. Both 2:30 kickoffs, both at home, both beautiful, gorgeous days. You know there's going to be 102,000 at Tiger Stadium for number 7 Ole Miss. I'm hoping Tulane will draw at least 20, 25,000. Ideally, they get close to a 30,000 sellout. It's a great environment at Tulane when there's a crowd at Yeoman. It really is. Hey, Trey Yen, indoor dining, curbside pickup, get a big to-go order or go eat at Trey Yen. You North Shore folks know where it is, at the foot of the causeway. You South Shore folks, 25 minutes from Lakeside Shopping Center. There's no driving on the North Shore. You cross that causeway bridge immediately to your left. Not Chinese food, Chinese cuisine. Tonight for dinner, dine in or get a curbside delivery pickup to-go order. Trey Yen in Mandeville. You won't be disappointed. And don't forget the Tung Cho sauce. Trey Yen's just so good. Dynamite. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday. Every day we broadcast live on radio and on YouTube and the internet device, live streaming, 4 to 6 o'clock weekdays, 2 big hours. The first 90 minutes of the television and YouTube broadcast on TV. Cox Channel 4, Spectrum Channel 333, all over Louisiana. We do it every day from the Buddy Diliberto River Cities Total Maintenance Studios. Is your heat working right? Or is it making a funny noise? Maybe not working well enough, or worse, not working at all. If you're having heat problems, because you're going to need the heat, tomorrow it'll be high 40s in the morning in New Orleans, high 30s on the North Shore. East Bank, West Bank, North Shore, River Cities Total Maintenance has you covered. Honest air conditioning and heating experts that come immediately. They know you're inconvenienced. They come right now. And they're experts at heating, so they're not guessing, trying to figure it out. They diagnose it right away the first time. And they're honest, incapable of screwing you around. What more do you need? River Cities Total Maintenance. Honest air conditioning and heating experts that come immediately. 841-3300. 841-3300, or find them at NOLAAC.com. Tomorrow, another edition of Hillier and Hennigan on the program. Right-leaning Quinn Hillier, left-leaning Alice Hennigan. We'll talk about Putin and the martial law, the Iranians training Soviets in Crimea about these drones. Midterms 2 weeks from Tuesday. Scalise, all of that tomorrow. Another edition of Hillier and Hennigan. Be there for that. The OIG audit will be released tomorrow on the New Orleans Department of Safety and Permits. That's going to be interesting. We'll have Ed Michelle on the program soon, maybe tomorrow, if he can make it, to talk about this audit on the New Orleans Department of Safety and Permits. Corey Johnson with you. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Yeah, you right. Hey, how about some Italian and Sicilian tonight at Fury's? They're open right now. They'll go till 9 p.m. With this weather, you could probably sit outside right now before it gets a little colder. Yeah, outdoor dining at Fausto's or dine inside. Some of the city's best Sicilian and Italian at Fausto's. Don't take my word for it. Ask someone you know that loves Sicilian and Italian. They'll tell you not only have they been to Fausto's, they love Fausto's. Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets. Yeah, you're right. What's that, Blue Boy? Thanks, Jason. Thanks, everyone. Yep. See you mañana.